brings us here? Why this location? What spoke to y'all about this location?
So, Mr. Tuffy, that's my mentor. I met him when I was in high school. One day, I just can't. This was like December, November. I came up with this concept in my head. I'm like, man, I should do an installation called Grannies House and like build around that. So I reached out to him, man. You know, he usually don't do events like this, but he was willing for me, man. That's my man. So like 3 years ago, like 2023, I lost my my little cousin, my big cousin, my best friend, and my brother in 1 year. So when I was going through my healing process, I was taking a lot of shrooms, you feel me? And I guess the nostalgic part and what kind of brought me back to life for real was I was thinking like, when was I my most innocent? You feel me? That's when I was a child. You feel me? So like my last grandma died when I was like 11 years old. That was my last grandparent that died. So I ain't get to experience my grandparents at an older grown age. So it's like I just kind of put an event around that just to bring that childlike innocence and creativity back out.
So Ron, when he brought this idea to you, what were your thoughts? Like,
hey, this is my field. You know, I love everything vintage. I'm a collector of all things vintage. So I had tapes already set aside, T-shirts set aside. I got knickknacks like my granddad's platform. He was the disco 1-2 back in the day. Yeah, man, I got magazines, everything. I just like collect all things retro. Yeah. I feel like I was really somebody from that era. Like I'm laid back. I feel like I'm everybody's granddad. You know, that's the energy I give. So when I found my energy, my life that I was given from collecting vintage clothing and vintage apparel, vintage accessories, it just kept me going, man. Like in my dark days, my brightest days, I just felt home, having everything around me, so surrounded by all my collection. It's just something that keeps me going. You know, it just kind of brings back that feeling of family. Like you said, grandma's basement. We got the plastic wrap couch. You know.
Yeah, and as you're speaking about different things, let's go inside and check out the what we got going on here. I'm just follow you guys and we start from the top.
So let me say this. So I grew up in my auntie house too. So it's like this is a mixture between Grannies House, auntie house. I remember my auntie had one of these
coffee table
called plastic, and I was like, I ain't want to have the regular pillows. We actually dropped last year. What's been will be again. You got Dr. Sebi on there, Jeff Ford, Jara Rastafari, Angela Davis, Malcolm X. And you got the black woman, modern day, and you got her in the past, you feel me? So what has been will be again. Right now, if you pay attention to people spiritually dead, but that's only temporary. That's a vintage self, things that self-pull, Tupac shirt, but they misspelled it. So they just continue to film me.
Come on, yeah. Rare piece.
Yeah,
Let's move. Yeah, like what pieces stand out to you guys? I'm just kind of following y'all lead. We'll walk through and we'll talk about one thing I want to talk about is you say you're from Garfield. What does that mean to you? You know what I mean?
Yeah. See Garfield, the East. So I'm just an East baby.
That's kind of how Pittsburgh is structured, right? It's different
East,
sides.
North, South.
Now I hear that in the city, people kind of stay on their side in a sense. Like people on the north side stay on the north, or people on the east side stay on the east.
I brought them from the north.
Okay. Yeah, right. Tell me about some of these pieces. And what goes into your creative process?
I'm gonna get brush flyers because it's like I was always into vintage. But my man, we had a store in Oakland, House of Vane, but he had like rare pieces though. A lot of African American historic pieces. So I just started collecting more vintage for real. So for these pieces, right here. I don't know if you're familiar with the Moors.
Semi.
Yeah, so they was already in America before Christopher Columbus. They kind of lied about that. So I put the Black Panther with the Moors fast, DPC in the fast, over America. No, I kept it the regular American colors because it's like you gotta know what it is. We ain't carrying. I mean, And I also got
Like this ours for real.
you reap what you sow, meaning I kind of like, I was in a car listening to Been On To Me. You familiar with Been On To Me? It's a brother back in like the early 2000s, 90s. He got a community of us together and he moved to Israel. And he had like a whole fruitarian type, Nazarite type dad for the people. But yeah, the community came back here, but he's like a Hebrew Israelite. His lecture said you reap what you sow. And that kind of like stuck with me because you really do reap what you sow out here.
Yeah, in a major way. In a major way. You know, within your creative process, when do you shut it down? When is it ready? You know, I mean, you know how it is as an artist. As you create, you're very critical of your work. You know what I mean? How do you fight through that, if at all? Jerome, we'll start with you.
Honestly, we just send stuff back and forth. Like somebody might think it's done in their mind.
Let's move around a little bit.
Somebody else might be some other things they can tinker with, add to it. But like with this one here, we probably had about 4 different layouts for this particular design, but we just kept messing with like the text layout, the graphics in the background. We was pretty much set on the black and real tree Catholic colorway, I believe. But as far as like the layout and the design, we wasn't really too set on that yet. We had other components, but we're trying to bring it all together.
There's probably like 4 different revisions on that one. There's the back right here. I'll protect the youth by any means necessary.
Come on. But it's just, in my head, I'm thinking it's really deep. Start there. Rap. Like, you really gotta, it's so many different layers, you know what I mean? And this is what I appreciate when it comes to art. You know, people really take their time, and you know, it's bigger than myself. What Nip say? He said, "You can have it all. It's all about your reasons." Like, you know, this is giving back every time you look at it. That's kind of what it's telling me. You know,
that's one of our like missions behind the brand is to like educate the youth through clothing. You know, a lot of the stuff we wear, you don't know what it really symbolizes. You know, so we figured why not tell young the story through young clothing.
Put it in your subconscious.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It's the whole thing about the subconscious. You might not know what it means, or you might just think it's a hard shirt, but it's gonna go back in your head.
It's all full circle. Like we said, we're inspired by the vintage retro lifestyle, you know, everything from the past, the 90s. So stuff like this just tells you, like, you know, we protecting the youth because we try to bring everything full circle, have them kind of with that same life that we're breathing through vintage clothing. We want this to be found 10, 20 years later, promoting the black image, promoting the black love, and hope that, you know, they can have the same takeaways that we did from these vintage black pieces that we found. Black got popular demand with Betty Boop, for the whitewash Betty Boop. She was originally black, I'm gonna tell you anything otherwise.
Yeah, some hats too, they sold out. Some Betty Boop on it, because it's like protect the youth everywhere. You know, like the African soldier children that gotta go to war. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just not. It's like similarities to like the youth in overseas and third world countries and here though, because, you know, excuse my language, but the young niggas so misled by the music and the entertainment, they're killing each other.
right?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we gotta protect their mind and keep their divinity.
Well, let me ask you this, because the scary part about it, let's say like with drill rap, drill culture, is that it's very profitable, and at the same time it's entertaining. So how do we flip that? You know, how do we kind of help the algorithm for the young cats? You know what I mean? Because this is cool. You know what I mean?
Stuff like this, we put more positivity into the algorithm. It's not just straight negativity. We're not just promoting the next worst thing. You know, we're trying to put nothing but positivity into the world. Something that's gonna like reflect us well, reflect into the youth. Hopefully blossom into something wonderful.
And I ain't gonna lie to, like, you gotta kind of do what they do, like, head tight and subconscious, right? What they do in the negative way, right? I'm saying for when it comes to other people, so you gotta do the same thing and tap the subconscious, right? What they do in the negative way, though. You know what I'm saying? For when it comes to other people, so we gotta do the same thing and attack this subconscious, but with positivity. For me, it's balanced, though. Cause like even with the Bushwick Bill T, you know that's about the ghetto boys. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's balanced. It's like we drop, you know, kind of like pop culture type stuff too, but it's all adventures inspired. It's just about being balanced, bro. Like you ain't gonna wake up holy every day. You know what I'm saying? But it's about checking yourself out. You know what I'm saying? I might have a day I'm tripping out. You feel what I'm saying? I might go have a couple drinks, bro. I might go against what I kind of stand on. You feel what I'm saying? And it's kind of like a contradiction because it's like ain't nobody perfect but the Most High, bro. Every day you ain't gonna be your top elite self, right? That's where the balance coming at, right? Because it's like you gotta go through certain moments to really learn that lesson of, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna never learn it if you don't keep making the mistakes.
Right.
You'll be capped off. That's how intelligent the creator is. You feel what I'm saying? And I remember you asked me earlier, it's like how did you even get the thought, bro? It's just like, bro, you gotta, like Wallow said, you gotta push your fucking button, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Press play, like.
That's it. That's it. Cause you're gonna weed what you sow, bro. So you keep on working. One day, bro, it's gonna go crazy, but you're gonna have your losses. You're gonna have your days where you got doubt, like, damn, is it worth keep going, or should I do something else? But it's like, nah, bro, because the day you stop, the next day you probably could have did something with it, though. You feel me? So it's like, you gotta keep it going, bro. You gotta keep it going. That's why I listen to a lot of Core, like, help me keep it going, bro. You feel me?
When did y'all know, like, yo, this is what we on?
I ain't gonna lie, my mom, she was heavy on fashion growing up, so she showed me like the Ad Hardys and stuff back in the day.
Cool.
And my dad, he was a thrifty type of, so yeah, I'd be in the thrift stores with him, you know, buying retro jerseys, retro jackets and stuff. And honestly, just growing up with them and them teaching me my style, like that's really got me going. And I don't know, I just felt a reason to like try to get dressed, get fly. I used to.
But was there ever a period where people was like, yo, you want some different shit, like, or maybe if you dressed ahead of the quote unquote trend, or you know, how did you know?
There was a time where I tried to change it up a little bit. It was like high school, and I remember being in the bathroom and someone was like, yo, you look like Lil Wayne or something like that. Cause I know like the skinny jeans before they was popular and all that. But it wasn't like he was like talking down or anything. It was just like, yeah, you look different. You know what I mean? Right. So
you kind of was ahead of the.
Yeah, but I think the way he said it made me say like, all right, no, I'm doing it. I guess like it didn't make me feel like okay, I should dial it back.
Yeah, because some people
You know what I mean?
will get kind of defensive a little bit, like and wear that like, damn.
And even still, if it was something negative, it didn't mean I had to take it negative. I could just still say, you know, I'm doing my thing. You don't have the confidence in yourself, so work on that. There are a million other brands out there, so you got to try to set yourself apart somehow. Put yourself actually into your brand. Don't just sit here and keep it a brand, which means just like keeping your name on your brand and that's it. Like actually put what you like, put your personal taste into your brand. You know, don't go off of what's the popular lengths that's out there right now. Don't go off the popular colorways. Like that's what he like to wear. You know what I mean? So he put it into his clothing. That's what I like to wear from my clothing.
Talk to me about what you're wearing, like.
This is a Rodney King t-shirt, but it's like the Rockaware logo. So just keep
Rough Rider.
Yeah, I'm getting the Rough Rider like that. But so I'm just keeping it with the retro theme, but also trying to keep it a little bit woke to keep it on like the sensitive topics that we that we were raised on. These pants I made just like
you see how we just lost over the Rodney King, like that's like. It's deep,
like, and I ain't trying to blow past it. Like I genuinely.
No, I was just thinking
you know
like,
what I mean?
it's a lot of texture.
Everyday shit, bro.
Every Friday, you know what I mean? So regular Friday. So here we go.
Jeans custom retro patches. I try to pick patches that I think will work together well. Just went crazy with the distressing, man. This is like a passion project. I didn't really look at how much time it took. I just wanted to make something that I actually liked in the end. I got this chain from my dad. This is from it's actually from the MoMA, but they sold jewelry. Yeah.
I forgot what it was.
I got this at a thrift store. It was like $2. I looked it up. It's worth like $500. So check your thrift stores out. This is just a simple piece that I was like, no, I'm thinking I can't get this right now. Then we got our don't play gold chains. Keep it simple because we, you know what I mean, simple. Not use aesthetics, nothing too crazy. We don't need all those diamonds. Y'all make it. You gotta bust down a little bit.
Right. It's time and the place. Talk to me. I know for me, what stands out is the Goldberg. Like,
Oh yeah, it's the vintage wrestling tee. I'm a big wrestling fan, bro. So
who the GOAT? Greatest wrestler of all time.
Stone Cold.
See, I'm the era right before Stone Cold. I was Bret Hart. Like, no, Stone Cold. We'll go in. That's a different episode. Okay, keep going. I'll get out your way.
Don't play sample. Little blank. You feel me? Sample joint.
Don't sell it short now. He went with the proper sample sizing on the,
like,
on the hoodie.
What is it? Egyptian cotton?
It's a different type of like cut sleeve. It's a little more drop shoulder, a little bit more comfortable fitting.
Yeah, like.
And look, this was his idea,
But-
so I'm saying like, don't say it's like.
How? But let me pause you right there, right? How hard is it to, sometimes pop out and really talk the shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I try to stay humble.
it's
That's why I was like, I'm trying.
yeah. Is that hard though? Do you like finding that balance?
When your ego get in the play though, you feel me? Like the shrooms kind of showed me, bro. Like we be having false ego and you can't really take nothing personal. It's like before agreements though. So I'm off shrooms right now.
How you feeling?
Come on.
I ain't never take shrooms before.
But it's like when your ego get in the play, bro. In reality, bro, like you gotta think about it. Like the universe is so big, bro. We like cells in a body. We don't matter for real in reality, bro. But we do though, because we made an image of God. You feel me? That's why I got the church fans say, you're the gods, you're the chosen Most High. But you'll die like men to fall like the princes did. So it's like it's a humble thing, bro. Like, then like one thing that keep me stop from popping it, bro, is cause like, bro, I know how it feel to have something and lose it. And bro, what keep me like down to earth, bro, when niggas get that on the hate and shit. It's like, bro, look how they did Christ, you feel me? Who am I? So you gonna get the same treatment, bro, the chosen ones get. So it's like, come with the job, bro. You feel me?
Yeah.
Don't go crazy buying all these chains and watches. Cause it's like, never let nobody know what you got going on. Whether you broke or you dumb up, you feel me? You gotta stay the same.
So talk to me about the
Kind of
kids.
took like House of Van. I talked about the fans, bro. They the House of Van, one of the ones on. You feel me?
You can't find these nowhere.
I don't know. I found these sweats somewhere, and they said hard rock or on it. I don't know, like the colors. I'm from Pittsburgh, so anything like anything that's darker or yellow, that's like on that. These is fire.
Yeah, facts. Y'all
I got the
y'all both stepping.
Hold up.
Casual, like,
This
just
is
casual.
this is don't play vintage House of Van design.
Shrooms. How important the shrooms,
Damn.
how important the role the shrooms, and are you even comfortable talking about shrooms on camera and shit like that?
Honestly, bro, I understand the mushrooms, period. Like, so, like, even regular mushrooms, not just the shrooms, like, lion's mane mushrooms, the purpose of mushrooms is to rebuild your brain, the gray matter in your brain. So once I figured that out, I started using them. I just started, I don't know, bro, it's just a whole different universe.
Sounds like is you're being very intentional. You know what I mean? You're not just moving loosely, because it sounds like it's tied into, you said the lion's mane mushrooms is tied into your food, your diet. We spoke off camera briefly about your diet,
Yeah,
being
plant-based.
plant-based. How long you been plant-based?
Like 5 years.
Was it a hard transition? How did you lane there?
Well, I stopped eating pork like 16 years ago. I seen the Malcolm X movies. I started eating pork.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't do no pork, bro. And, I was like that for a minute, bro. And then came across Dr. Sebi when I was in high school, bro. And I was like, all right, damn, I start. Because when I get new information, bro, well, now it's different. When I was younger, new information, bro, I'd be so quick to share it without planning. You feel what I'm saying? Or I might apply it halfway. You feel what I'm saying? So, you become a liar in a way, you feel me? So I was just sharing. So my boy ended up becoming all the way plant-based. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm still eating fishing. He's like, man, I stopped eating all this because you told me. So I'm like, yeah, you're right. I got to stand on what I say, you feel me? So I stopped eating meat completely. At first, it was a little difficult because it's like, you still got the parasites in your body, though. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
So you still craving
it, right? So once I started like this detoxing my body, really taking herbs and stuff, I was all right.
That's dope.
Might be another thing too. You read the Gospel of the Nazarenes. Christ grew up as a Nazarite with Samson. That was his tribe when he was younger, when he was 13. And he never ate animals. They lied to you in the Bible, they perverted it, but Christ never ate animals. So kind of like just took that route. That's the Gospel of the Nazarenes, the book they took out the Bible.
Where are you at with your diet?
Struggling. I got positive cook in my life. My girlfriend, she's a pescatarian, so she's still eating fish.
Can you feel the difference?
I stopped eating red meat as much as I can. There's a difference. You eat, a hamburger after going a week or two with LVMG red meat, like you'll feel how different it is, how heavy it is my body. So I'm really trying my best. I'm trying to take a fish now. Just trying to grab making my way there. But I can feel the difference, so I'm gonna keep moving. And last year I was messing up when I get McDonald's and shit.
Yeah, listen, it's a day-to-day fight.
My girlfriend's like, yeah, you need to stop that this year. So I've been working on it. It's been a good, I guess 2 months so far.
This is a great time to, during this conversation to revisit it, you know what I mean? Sure. So, cannabis, where does that fit into your creative space?
I ain't gonna lie, I started smoking in college, and I only used that in college and kind of decompress. So for me, I feel like it's a different takeaway when I smoke. I'm not let me smoke to get creative. Let me, I don't know, because I used to do that when I was younger, try to smoke to get creative, and I feel like I was wasting my time. So I think it shouldn't be I don't think it should be an age. I think it should be more of an age for your body, mental, not like a driving force to do something. I feel like when I was younger, I was like, yeah, smoke and then start working on something. And I feel like that was just the wrong outlet to have. You know what I mean? Just enjoy it for yourself and for your body. Don't try to make it some ultimate, like there's some ultimate result that's gonna come from it, because that's not the point. Two separate things. Keep it what it is. Don't try to recreate the wheel. Just do it to help your body, help your mind.
Let's talk about the cut and sew process, the revisions, investing.
Right. So as far as okay.
Because this is, people don't really get, and I don't know how much you even want to talk about, your process and, you know what I mean? Measurements. Diddy? That was crazy.
Hey, bro, it's Flyers, he a GOAT, bro. So he inspired me to start Sun. This is all his work, bro. He been doing this for years, before it was even, Instagram content like that, bro. How you see it, you feel me? So give bro his flowers on that, bro. He inspired me to start Sun. It's just you're not really considered a designer until you know how to work that sewing machine. And the reason why the silhouette is so important, because you don't want an artistic way. I ain't gonna lie, vintage pieces, bro, is really where you get different silhouettes of different shit, bro, and it fit a certain way. And you go to the store and it's damn, this hoodie is hard, but it's this shit tight, or it's a bit weird as hell. So it's you kind of gotta I guess for me, when I pick out measurements for certain things in the past, bro, it's shit I wear, or I think this is a little decent one, you feel me?
Yeah, this hoodie is fit to you, you know what I mean? It's a good joint,
Yeah, I don't know, I think it's tough. Like I said, it's finding what you like and trying to put it out into the world, which can be a thing in itself, because one of my problems is that I see each thing as like a blank canvas. So it's hard to like you mentioned earlier, find that level of completion and find ones that stop me from this, like I'm done with this, there's nothing more to do to it. Because you can literally go crazy on literally anything. You can go from something like this and just put so much stuff on it that it winds up looking like this.
Right.
You can make a pair of pants and do all this, or you can do something simple like this to them. You know, so for me, honestly, when it comes to sewing, I try to like sketch stuff out if I can sketch stuff out. Otherwise, I'm like putting pieces together, putting like the different shades of fabric together, and then I might work on one piece of it and let it sit for like a day or two. Because it's a whole different thing. It's not like you're doing graphics where you can go back and find another version. Like once you sew this up, like there's gonna be a hole in those pants, and you either gotta put a stitch in there or not. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like there's no going back on it, but also gives you the ability to fix your own stuff, fix stuff for your friends, fix stuff for your homies. I just fucked these up today, rushing around. I'll go back to the crib, fix them. You know what I mean? I have to pay anybody for it.
Yeah, you ain't a real designer, so you know I work on sewing machine. That's a fact. Shout out that for doing too.
Here 2 days. I'm thinking,
We done. We gotta get a store, bro.
yeah, like I know it's, you're very tight knit on what's going on, what's happening next, but this is happening now. This is like, I don't even want to move past this.
Yeah,
but how does it feel?
Like,
This shit's different. Like I should have came with some flowers. Y'all really deserve your flowers, man. Especially coming from Philly, right? I came out here 2014 for real, and I was kind of tapped into the underground rap scene a little bit. I would go to rap concerts, DJ battles, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Looking at graffiti around the city, but people online, will complain about the culture in Pittsburgh or the lack of, some people don't think that this is possible in the city. You know what I mean? How important is it for y'all to leave y'all imprint for the culture, for the city? You know what I mean? This deserves recognition to the highest level, and how important is that?
I'll go first, bro. I just live by this quote: "You gotta see the invisible so you can do the impossible." So it's like, bro, like you just gotta manifest, bro. But you can't manifest with all imagination. So it's like at a point in time when you're an adult, bro, your imagination gets taken away from you. So it's hard for you to see certain opportunities or see certain shit that be possible.
Right.
That's another reason why we do Grannies House, you feel me? To bring that childlike essence back to you. So you could get that imagination back, because it goes hand in hand. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Imagination and manifestation, you gotta see it. You feel me? You gotta see it already in your brain. I already seen it happening and how it's gonna be set up. You know what I'm saying? Manifested it in real life time.
Right. This is an amazing exhibit. I appreciate the hospitality. This is how I see the city of Pittsburgh. This is how the city of Pittsburgh is coming. I'm happy to, have been invited here. I'm gonna look around and grab something. I'm leaving here with something, that's for sure. So yeah, before we get up out of here, just talk to the people about, if you got anything coming up next, you want to send them anywhere, any links, anything of that nature.
Honestly, y'all can look forward to more of this. Something like this, we don't take for granted. Like we know what this can do for the community. We know that there's a lack of events like this that are just going to bring the community together for something positive. Beyond just, not to say just music, but like something you can come through, feel some nostalgia, kick it with your friends. You can invite your mom came through, my aunt came through, his mom came through. Like you can invite your family through more events. But just in the future, you can look forward to more of this.
Yeah, my ego's kicking in. This is Andy Warhol type shit, bro.
I'm telling you.
Fuck around with niggas, man. Grannies House, man. We giving y'all experience. We appreciate y'all for coming out, first and foremost. All praise due to the Most High. Peace to the gods.